What's up, everybody? This is your favorite homeboy, and today we're going to talk about real estate investing, and we're going to talk about two markets that I'm personally really connected to because, well, I live in both places, and also I have a property management company that manages properties in both locations. Of course, that is Northern Virginia, the DC market, and the Austin, Texas market. So the title of this is the best tech market for rental home, and why choose when you can have one in each market. So I've got some great folks here, a great lineup. If you're interested in real estate investing, particularly in the hot Austin and DC, Northern Virginia markets, you'll want to listen in to some valuable content here. So please make sure you subscribe to this channel if you haven't subscribed, and like this video so I know you like content like this. So first, I want to do a quick introduction to who's on the channel. And let's start with Rita. Rita, why don't you tell them who you are, who you're with, and a little bit about yourself.
Well, good morning. I am Rita Snyder, and I'm in Georgetown, Texas, near Austin. And I started Veranda Realty Group with two other friends that we've been in the real estate business for over 30 years. And we are blowing and going, and Georgetown and Austin Metro is fast and furious. Yeah.
And Rita, you know, you were one of my early supporters in property management. That's how I know Rita. Rita had some clients. I think, did you used to manage their properties?
I used to own a management business and sold it. And then most of my clients went elsewhere, and you were my go-to person for sure. Yeah. Yeah,
that was so awesome. And so I really am thankful because you kind of helped support me in my early days when I transitioned to property management. So I'm glad you're here and that we can kind of catch up a little. And next, the next part of Austin representation here is Kevin. Kevin.
Hey,
Manpower.
My name's Kevin Rustine, and I'm with the ERA Colonial Real Estate here in Georgetown as well. Rita and I are just meeting each other electronically face-to-face for the first time. So, but I've been in the real estate business for probably 12 or 13 years. But I've been selling real estate for the last year. So I'm enjoying it. Love Texas. Awesome. Love it all.
Awesome. And you do some farm work like me, don't you?
I know, but I've got a property. I've got 1 acre that I can't seem to keep up with. So I don't know. I'm going to have to get some goats or something.
Yeah, get some goats like me.
Yeah.
All right. And then for Northern Virginia, DC area, let's go to Peggy first.
Hey guys, my name is Peggy Yee. I'm a broker with Nova House and Home here in Falls Church, Virginia. I've been an agent for about 11 years now, and yeah, we help people buy and sell here.
Awesome. And Lynn.
Yes, hello. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Lynn Narussis. I am one of the team members of the Focus on Nova real estate team based in Northern Virginia. We cover the whole area. And prior to, real estate, I've been involved in real estate since 2006. I've been practicing since 2018, but prior to real estate, I was in media for 20 years. And I was actually a real estate editor, covering both the local market, and then during the recession covered the national market. And then the last 10 years of me being in media, I was the editor of the regional magazine, Northern Virginia Magazine. So again, covering all of the development and lifestyle and everything happening, but switched over to real estate. And the team brings over 40 years of experience, specifically to real estate buying and selling in Northern Virginia.
Awesome. And I know Lynn through Tracy. Tracy is on your team, and Tracy
Yes.
and I used to do some networking, so that's really cool. This is so cool how we get to meet so many great people in this industry, and you guys are in it day in and day out. So I'm really glad to have you on this channel because a lot of people who watch this channel, they're investors. They want to invest, whether it's short-term rentals or long-term rentals, and you know, Austin and DC, it's no secret. Those are some great markets. And so I think there's a lot of people who want to invest and they don't know where to start. And I think in this day and age, it's like you can pick anywhere you want. And especially if you're not managing it, because you got Mars Hill, you can be like coming from another state, investing in diversifying your portfolio, and you can do that. You don't have to, you don't have to visit the home to buy it. Have you guys experienced that working with any investors who are just remote and maybe they don't see the home unless it's closing or even at all maybe?
100%. Last year I had an investor purchase. She was in Singapore, so we got the whole thing done within those 3-hour time windows each day. And she didn't even step foot in the property until 2 weeks after she purchased.
Wow.
And even at that point, with her purchasing, we already had the renter lined up. So she was just coming through because she happened to be in the area. She wanted to see what she bought, but she purchased it and already had it rented out before she even got to see it. So it's definitely doable with all of the technology. I think if anything during this pandemic, what proved is that you can work from anywhere and get anything done. And it is 100% possible to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. What about, was that during this crazy time? Was that recently when she bought? Or was that before?
No, actually that was done the summer before COVID hit. So, I mean,
it's
that's
a little easier time to buy it, right?
Right. Well, I mean, we still had competition on purchasing it, but still got it at a great price because obviously for an investor, that is what you have to look at. It's not, you're not making that emotional buy. You're making that smart business decision buy. So being able to really work the numbers, make sure that we were looking in an area to where she could recoup, exactly what that mortgage payment would be, plus taxes, plus any condo or HOA fees that go into it, and get it in an area that is really going to sustain not only that initial rent, but the increasing rents, moving forward to really give her the best net from that investment property.
Yeah. What about anyone else?
Yeah,
Kevin?
I think you touched on something that's, I think, critical is having a quality property management company take care of your investment because, obviously managing people and tenants can be a challenge. I've got a long background in property management as well, but having somebody take care of that property, nurture it, keep your income coming in, but also maintain the property so that down the road, when you want to capture that appreciation, you've got a quality product to sell. I have a home that's listed with, or that Mars Hill takes care of as well here in Gerald. And I just couldn't be happier. So I think you touched on something great. It's not just the purchase. It's not just the cash flow. It's the big picture. Yeah.
Now these investors coming from out of country, out of state, why are they choosing either the Austin or the DC area? Rita, what are you seeing?
Well, I recently as well just had an investor from California and she bought 5 houses and I was able to get her during the COVID and just recently brand new builds.
Wow, brand new.
That's really rare. Yeah, it's very rare because
Was
the builders
lottery
now are cutting off investment. I know, right?
I thought they're doing like lottery or something for
she
new homes.
She got very lucky and, I had some on-site builder people that knew me and knew that, she was ready to buy and they had inventory, which is unusual. It's gone now. So she probably won't get another one, but yeah, they're coming from out of state and she never saw the house. The homes. She never stepped foot in them.
What was her reason? Why Austin? Why did she choose Austin?
Oh, Austin has just always been a hot market. I mean, I think I've been in this market for 35 years. So I think in the last 20 years, 15 years, we've been kind of on an uphill or an incline in pricing and in popularity. A lot of businesses are coming. Tesla just is about to open their huge factory. If you haven't seen it. It's enormous. And I understand Samsung may be coming to Taylor. I'm not sure if they've actually set that in stone, but Taylor has tripled in price, believe it or not.
Wow, Taylor, little old Taylor.
Yeah, little Taylor.
Samsung's already in Austin, aren't they?
I'm sorry, what?
Isn't Samsung already in Austin? So
Samsung's already in Austin, but they're bringing another facility, from what I understand, to 2 different locations, and Taylor is on the top of their list, from what I understand. Yeah.
Oh. How about you, Peggy? What are you seeing in the Northern Virginia?
Yeah, similar things. We had a client buy 2 properties in the last year during COVID. During this crazy time, we were able to get good deals for them, and then have you guys manage the properties for them afterwards.
Yeah.
So,
I know
that's
those
been really
two.
great. They were overseas as well, kind of figuring out like, okay, just knowing that, okay, you got to go to the embassy, you got to get this notarized, all that kind of stuff to deal with. But everything was really, it was fine. Like, we didn't run into any issues. We closed on time. It was fine. I do think that people are coming to Northern Virginia, similar probably to Austin, that, I think people see that there's a lot of appreciation potential, even though Northern Virginia is still already really expensive, like, with COVID and everything. I think people still feel like this is a safe investment for them, that it's not going to, crash or go down. Even if it goes down, it's not going to go down very much. We've got Amazon coming, Capital One in Tyson's Corner is, just booming with construction. So I think people are, really making a safe bet that, that it's going to appreciate or at least maintain its value here. So.
Yeah. From a property manager's perspective, and when I talk to investors, some of the investors, they really want to maximize their cash flows. So they're looking at multifamily, and I tell them, there's pros and cons to that. I was talking to someone yesterday. In fact, they were looking at, they had multifamily in Philly and New Jersey, and he said, I love the multifamily because when COVID hit, when one person couldn't pay, the other person could. So I had 50% of the rent coming in. I said, sometimes you might be looking at that wrong, because instead of looking at multifamily where your rents are a little lower and you might be working with people who have less margin in their budgets. That might be helpful, but have you considered looking at single family? Because for us, our bread and butter is single family in the Austin market and townhomes in the Northern Virginia market, because you're at a higher price point. And what I've discovered is that rather than saying, well, I want to be prepared for the worst in case this happens, I'll have the other half covered, the half that couldn't pay. Why not just go for that target market in that price point, that sweet spot where, we only had 2% not paying, and that 2%, rather than like the 30 to 40 to 50%, right? And that 2%, we were able to put them on payment plans, and they all of our owners were made whole. And so it's like, for me, the ideal product to recommend to an investor would be single family in Austin, and a townhome in kind of like the Northern Virginia markets. What could you tell those who are watching this, kind of like what the price range is for something like that, if they were to look for something like that today?
So if they're looking for a single family in the Austin area, if you go, on the outskirts, the suburbs like Georgetown or Jarrell or Hutto, you can still get something, maybe 300,000. Okay. Maybe just under, not as possible now as it was before.
People are fighting for those if it's under 300,
fighting
right?
for those. Although, for duplexes and fourplexes, you're looking at really high money now.
Like
duplexes and fourplexes in Austin, some of the duplexes are 600,000 on up,
wow.
Or at least. My gosh. At least it's the prices have gone up so much. So they need to make the numbers work, of course. Mm-hmm. And also a lot of them are just looking for appreciation at this point.
How about you, Kevin? Are you in the market for another one?
I actually am. We're actually under contract on a new build out in Point Venture right now. So we're still trying to figure out whether we're going to do a short term on that.
Where's Point Venture?
Lake Travis down in Lago Vista.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds nice.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Yeah. It's a great location. And we're kind of just, rolling that around to see if we're going to do a long-term tenant or a short-term tenant or use it for ourselves.
Well, if you do short-term, let's consult, because I've got a lot of experience for better or worse.
See, and I have none in that. So that's perfect. Yeah. I appreciate that.
Cool. How about you, Lynn?
The Northern Virginia market is very expensive. Just to give you an idea, the numbers coming out from July, the median home price was $639,000. So we're definitely at that top marking. However, that being said, exactly how you talked about, if you're an investor going for like the single family or the townhome, you're looking at getting a monthly rent payment For single family homes, I mean, you're in the 3,000s, even sometimes up to $5,000 a month for what you can charge for rent. For townhomes, you're probably more in that $2,000 to $3,000 mark. Obviously, all of that depending on what that product is. But
how
to give
close
you
in it is to DC also, right?
exactly. But so here's some interesting information that you just actually said, how close it is to DC, because so for rental numbers for the first quarter of this year, for the data that they've put out. So we saw in the Northern Virginia area almost a 17% average close price increase, and then an 18% close to list. And while those numbers are really, really high, where you're actually seeing the most of that percentage increase is actually coming in Fairfax County, Fairfax City, and Falls Church City. So the numbers actually for the average closed price went down a little bit in Alexandria and Arlington. And I think a lot of that has to do with COVID happening. People were wanting to get out of those dense areas and go into to have a little bit more literally breathing room in the Fairfax County area. But when you mention about how some investors are really looking for those multifamily homes, the thing that Northern Virginia has that, yes, there are other areas across the country that have this as well, but surprise, surprise, we are at the heart of the government. So we have all of the government workers. And then as Peggy mentioned, that little small company called Amazon that's coming. But you have a lot of military and people who are moving their families into the area to where they know they're going to be here for 2 or 3 years. So they are looking for those single family homes because they don't want to feel like they're in a rental for that time period that they're here. So they are looking for those single family homes, those townhome communities. And you're garnering a really good amount of money for what you can charge for rent. Now you do also have to take into account, first of all, purchasing the house because we do have a higher price point. But there are still good deals out there. If you're willing to put in like some work to it. And the other thing that I also want to point out is even during COVID, we started to see the typical summer slowdown. But even in the spring, we in this area saw a condo slowdown. So even if you wanted to just try out investing and buy that condo in Arlington or Alexandria, you can actually get really good deals right now on those markets. So that's definitely something to look into.
As a manager, though, I hate managing condos. So there's downsides to that. There's definitely pros and cons, especially like some of these condos like in DC that were like 1 bedroom, they were giving us a killer time. I don't know why. I guess like maybe what you said, people are just wanting to move further away from the city.
Yeah, they went out. And the other thing, one thing I do want to point out is also with the condos in our area, you see there are some condos where the condo fees are in the thousands, like $1,000 or some even in the 700. So the condo fees are a lot more than what you would normally find in an HOA fee. And obviously running the numbers, you have to factor that into what that overall investment would be and what you can actually garner from it.
Now, Peggy,
Edward, I would say that too, that like what you were saying, I think the investors in this area, I think tend to go towards the townhouses because one, condos are cheaper, but the condo fees are just way too much. So that kind of, takes that one out of the calculations for cash flow. But then on the other hand, the single family homes are like so expensive that you can't really, if you're doing this as an investment property, you already own your own house, they typically don't have like all of that money to put down towards a single family house. Plus, the maintenance on a single family house is going to be a lot more than a townhouse. So I feel like in this area, that townhouse is a really just a sweet spot in terms of price and, maintenance and cash flow and all that. So.
Yeah.
I think in our area, we have a lot of different demographics. We have the older people who are on the outskirts of Austin, but Austin is still a very young city. So I see the condominium market, townhome markets really strong in Austin, although I was just lucky enough to get my son. He's buying a condo. He just moved here from New York, and he's buying a 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath condo on the bus line, just by Dell Children's Hospital for $257.
Wow.
So, I know. And it's really nice. 2 parking spaces as well.
So I'm curious about how much were those homes that California lady bought? What was the price range of those?
I was able to get her brand new homes just under the $300,000 mark. So
Wow.
they were in the
Was it-
270s,
Mhm.
260s, 280s.
That's amazing.
There was one that was in Round Rock, kind of between Round Rock and Hutto.
Yeah,
Those were
great
that,
location.
that one was
Yeah.
in the low 300s.
Huh.
But you have to remember some of the tax rates over there are higher because of the mud districts. We have the
Right.
mud districts here as well.
I know, like Lynn and Peggy are snickering, probably like 300. Yeah, right. You know, that's
I
like
know,
condo price.
exactly.
But you have to understand that Lynn and Peggy, like that was probably 200 just a couple of months ago. So for us, it's like, whoa, the percentage increase is crazy.
Mhm.
But it's still got a long way to go. And so when I have these clients, they're like, "Hey, Edward, I want to sell. This is awesome." I'm like, "You're still low, man. I mean, for a tech market, you still got a long way to go. Austin's still a young market, So of course, I believe that I try to treat all real estate like you own a piece of Manhattan. Like you would never sell it. Just hold it, let it appreciate, let the principal get paid down, and if you need to take money out, do a cash out refi. And that's your own bank, and that's how people build wealth. And so my hope is that as people watch this video, they'll see wow, it's exciting to be in these really neat markets, and you could own a piece of Austin. I mean, people just want to own a piece of Austin or own a piece of the DC markets because there's so much exciting things happening there. So like, what about personally? Like what you guys have lived there kind of like varying degrees, some all your lives, some not so much. Like, why do you personally love where you live, and do you invest in that area?
I'll start. I love it. I've been here for 60 years. If that tells you anything.
Let's see if anyone can knock you off that record. All right, we got 50
Exactly.
years.
So I did own a lot of different investment properties myself. And I made the mistake of selling them all.
Me too. I saw stuff. It's like
I do have one in Florida. I do have an investment property in Florida. But I just made the mistake of selling them all. I never anticipated this market to be what it is today.
You got to stay in the game.
Who would I know? Who would have known? I dropped the ball.
That's my biggest regret. I sold a couple to move to Virginia because I was building this house. I'm only hoping this house appreciated. I don't know. Okay, how about you, Kevin? Oh, wait. Rita, I forgot to ask. I'm sorry, Kevin. What do you love about Austin? Like, what is it that you love about Georgetown that you're at?
Oh, I love eating. So the food, the restaurants, we have tons of food and restaurants here. I love it. And actually the lakes, the rivers, there's so much to do here. There really
outdoorsy.
Is. The concerts, the music venues. I used to, go to South by Southwest all the time and ACL Fest, and we love all of that. It's just a lot of fun. And they're starting the concerts up again. So that's going to be good. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, I know when they canceled South by Southwest, I heard a lot of short-term rentals.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
How about you, Kevin?
I love Texas. I grew up in California. Don't cut me off the air. Hey, I know. And then I was in Bend, Oregon for 10 years. But what I love about Texas and what I love about Georgetown specifically is the sense of community. People love to be here. People are here because they want to be here. They love our country. They love our state. They love each other. I'm a huge fan. Humidity gets a little bit much, so that'd probably be the only downside. But you touched a minute ago about don't wait to buy real estate. Buy real estate and wait. So we've all made the same mistake of selling properties we should have held on to. And so I think people are coming to Austin, like you said, in the Austin area, just for that opportunity to own some Texas land, own some Austin land. Yeah,
a piece of God's earth.
There you go.
God's country.
There you go.
How are you, Lynn? How long have you lived in the area?
So I have been in the Northern Virginia area for 41 years.
Wow. Okay.
If that doesn't just age me right there. And I I love it. Yes, obviously everyone's going to be like, well, what can you compare it to? You've never lived anywhere else. Yes, I get that. But I also, I've traveled and I know enough not to have left, it's, I mean, first and foremost, honestly, for me, it's the diversity. And that is in all categories, the diversity of people, the diversity of food, the diversity of cultural, entertainment. We have, I'm a 10-20 minute ride to DC where you have all of the museums and they're free. You can take advantage of everything. There's something going on in every single area. We do have all 4 seasons. Yes, Kevin, we have a lot of humidity here right now. But you get to enjoy all of it. You have the beaches, you have the mountains, you have, the city, you have the suburbs. You can literally, lead a Pinterest style life in any type of category you want to within 1 week because we have everything here. And it's also such a well-educated area to where it breeds a lot of discussion, and then coming from that, just all the art and the culture that comes from that. So it's a really great area for like opening your mind and being able to engage and learn in all the different aspects of literally the entire world because it's so diverse here. So that's
the key
kind of why I love it.
Diversity. That is definitely the first thing that comes to my mind.
Yeah.
How about you, Peggy? Peggy, thanks, Lynn. That was great.
Yeah, so I've been here on and off since 2005, so not as long as some of you guys.
Longer than me.
Yeah, but I have lived all over. Grew up in Chicago and did not like the weather there. Moved to California for a little bit. The weather there was much more amazing. But then ended up here in Northern Virginia. And yes, the weather is much better than Chicago. You get all 4 seasons. That's what I like about it. You get all 4 seasons, but it's not as extreme. So the weather here is great. I think the thing I really like about Northern Virginia is that, there's just so many things to do and so many things to do for free. Especially, I have 2 little kids. So, when they were smaller, we just go to the zoo every weekend and it was free, and or the museums, or if there's a national festival, it's always in DC. So, there's just so many things to do here that is just great for kids, great for families. And I would say, just in terms of investors, I think that's, even though it's expensive, I think that it's if you're going to buy for, appreciation and the numbers work for, cash flow, or you're willing to maybe take a little bit of a hit in terms of getting the property for appreciation, then I think Northern Virginia, like this main area of Northern Virginia, is great. I personally don't invest in Northern Virginia right here. I invest.
You're more on the outskirts.
Yeah, I do in the outskirts. I do about an hour and a half out in Winchester, where the townhouses there are still around between 150 and 200. So like it's a lot better. The cash flow flows better, right? But of course it's an hour and a half outside of DC. Right. I had 2 clients also that ended up buying AIRBNBs right outside of Northern Virginia because, with COVID and everything, everybody wants a quick, getaway that's not too far away. So those have been really popular as an alternative kind of investment that's close to Northern Virginia, but not, you're not paying the crazy prices of Northern Virginia.
This is so great, guys. Yeah, I just having lived in both places, I truly, truly miss the community of Georgetown. Now, all 3 of my kids were born there. I can say they're all Texans. And I just, it's like family. I mean, just seeing Kevin and Rita again, it just warms my heart. And it's amazing when you see people and like Rita and Kevin, like, wow, you don't know each other. It's like Kevin, it's like community where it's like, you kind of expect to know each other, so it's like, so cool. And that's what I really miss about Texas. Texas always has a special place in my heart. And Northern Virginia is that diversity. It's amazing, the culture. I just want to say thanks to Rita and Kevin for paying your federal tax dollars so that we can enjoy all these free benefits. We don't have to go to these museums and pay anything. So thank you so much.
Wow,
Lynn and
my tax
Peggy,
dollars
really
at work.
thank you.
Yeah,
I'm happy to pay him.
I'm a giver and a lover of people. It's well documented.
One day we're gonna have to get Kevin and Rita over here, and we're gonna have to get Lynn and Peggy over there.
There you go.
But this was a great video, guys, and I'm really, really so thankful that you guys were able to take just 30 minutes of your day to share some of your knowledge, your personal experience, and we're gonna have to do it again some other time. That's for
Sounds
sure.
great.
Yeah.
So,
Definitely.
hey, if you guys are watching this video and something clicked in your head and you want to diversify your investments and take it out of the stock market, diversify into real estate where the real wealth is being built, why choose? You can have Northern Virginia and Texas. We got some great real estate agents featured here on this episode of Homeboy's Hood. And just let me know, comment below, contact me. I can refer you out to one of these great folks, and they can help you find a rental, and we can help manage it and make it turnkey. So if you've enjoyed this, don't forget to subscribe and comment below. Let me know what you liked about this video, or if you had any questions for a future video. Again, this is your favorite homeboy. Until next time, signing out.